Good morning, everybody. This is Paul Romero with the Swiss Gold Global Independent Business Owner Network Marketing, not cough it up, training, network marketing training, number 88 today. And we definitely are going to do a little bit of chapter 6, yes, and napkin presentation number 5. Ships at Sea is the title of this one. The reason why we're getting into this chapter now is you have now been in your business for maybe it's been a week, maybe it's been 2 weeks, maybe it's been a month or 2 months. And by the way, today is Friday, Hawaiian Shirt Friday, January 23rd, 2014. So if you're coming here, you're checking these out on YouTube, you can get the date, you can see how fresh and old these are, fresh and or old these are, so that you have an idea how fresh the content is. You know, we all want fresh new material, and that's why we're out here doing these things every day, so that we're always continually putting out fresh content. Although the old content, you want to go back to number 1, maybe not. We've looked back. We weren't very sharp back in the day, but I would say definitely number 60 is a place to start, because that's where we get into the Own Your Life plan, or the Own Your Life book, which is the roadmap. It is the training manual for network marketing success. And starting with hangout number 60, if you're interested in how these napkin presentations go, how they work, actually seeing us doing them, at least 1 through 4, go back to number 60. And look, we're at training number 88. We've thrown in a couple of days where we got off subject, but there was definitely content there that was relevant to the place and time of the book to keep your mindset sort of on track. And we got through 5 chapters. We're on starting chapter 6 right now. 28 hangouts, 28 20-minute sessions to get through 5 chapters of this book. Very, very important to understand that these first 5 chapters really are the key to your success, to building your organization, to getting started in your business and building your business. Right here where we are now, as I just said, you've been in your business for a while, you've started building an organization, you've had some people here and there coming in, you've got some people in your organization, and you're being very distractive this morning. What are you doing over there? Anyway, hang on, don't talk. No, I just want to set this up that you've been in your business for a period of time, which has been your training session. However long that's been, like we said, 1 month, 1 week, 3 months, maybe you've been in this thing for a year, but now you're ready to get serious. And that's where these chapter 6 and presentation number 5 pick up, is with the people who want to get serious about building their business. Good morning, Mr. Distraction. What are you doing over there?
Well, I have to take the show on the road a little bit this morning, and I'll probably be more of an ear than a participator, because I got to head back up to my kids' school and drop some stuff off for them there. But regardless, happy Friday. And as Paul said, these napkin presentations that we've been going into since number 60, you said. So it's been several weeks, and we've only up to now chapter 6, and that's because, as Paul said, these are very important key elements to understanding and building your network marketing organization. So welcome to the Hangout, everybody. I apologize, Paul, for being so distracting there and throwing off your train of thought a little bit earlier. And I'm going to go ahead and turn it back to you. And when I get to a solid location, if there's a minute, I'll jump right back in.
All right. Okay, so John showed this picture the other day with, and sorry, my screen's a little fuzzy this morning for some reason, but what we have here is we have your gold ship, you have your silver ship, and you have your MT ship. And that doesn't stand for mighty, that stands for empty. Okay? Very clear point that the empty ships are danger zone. All right? Think about, as John put this the other day, your people talk about you wanting your ship to come in, and if you have these three ships heading to shore, and you're going to be able to unload the cargo on these three ships, do you want to unload the empty ship, the silver ship, or the gold ship? You want to be opening the cargo on the gold ship, right? I mean, it's pretty obvious. That's where people make the mistake in network marketing, is because they go out and they'll sponsor somebody into the business, and this person will be excited, and they'll be, hey, this is awesome, and they'll be taken off on their own. And you'll sit there and go, wow, this person is great. I don't have to do anything with them. They're already a gold ship. Off they go. And the next thing you know, things ain't quite working out because they're not getting the continued training. Maybe they go out there and they start bringing in too many people. They start going wide instead of deep. A lot of different things might happen, and yet the person who sponsored them in isn't reining them in and isn't keeping control of what they're doing and making sure that they're doing it the right way. And the next thing you know, this gold ship kind of falters down into a silver ship, and eventually maybe even the whole thing blows up for them. You never know. But yet we're willing to spend the time with the person who is not doing anything, who is not out there trying, who's kind of a bit of a complainer and a whiner, and we end up spending more time with that person than we do with the person who's out there and excited and doing something. And this is a huge mistake in building your organization, because when you go out and you start working with these people who are the empty ships, they're sinking, and they're going to take down with them everything that's coming along with them. I mean, it's oftentimes when you have an empty ship who's not getting it, who's not putting it together, who's not making effort, who's whining and complaining, and who feels like, you know, every time you call them that you're harassing them and that sort of thing, it might be better to just let them go. You know, sometimes people have to hit bottom before they can go back up. And I mean, just as in building your network, your organization, right? You got to build down to bedrock. You got to hit the bottom first before you can start building up, right? Sometimes it's just in people's attitude and their approach that they mentally have to hit bottom before they can start building up. So it's very important that you work with your gold ships and not your empty ships. Now, obviously, the silver ships. What about the silver ships, right? You want to work with silver ships too, because silver ships, they're in the middle. They're not the gold ship. They're not taking off on their own. They're not running with this, but they're not whining, complaining, and sitting on the couch. They're trying. They're maybe not getting it, but these people are going to go. They're not going to stay silver ships. They're either going to become gold ships or they're going to become empty ships. If you do nothing with them, guaranteed they will become empty ships. So working with your silver ships as well too is how you convert silver ships into gold ships, by doing the same thing that you're going to do with your gold ships and helping them build their organization, helping them get out there and start sponsoring people into their business, by teaching and training them how to go out there and sponsor people and how to train their people how to sponsor people, by just doing napkin presentations number 1 through 5, by building your organization. That's how this whole thing just trickles down. Once you get people into your organization, you're now teaching them how to operate napkin presentations 1 through 5 that you used to bring them in, and you're using that to practice on yourself as well too. The great thing is you've got a few people in your organization now, and maybe you've got, hopefully you've got a few people going in a downline where the person that you have brought in, you've trained them, they've sponsored somebody else, you've trained your person how to teach their person, and then they've brought somebody else in. And a great way to communicate with your people, your immediate people, and this is something that really opened my eyes when I was reading this is instead of just calling, you know, I brought Joe into the business, right? Joe brought Mary, Mary brought, well, let's see here. I brought Ed, Ed brought Mary, Mary brought Sue, right? Instead of me calling up Ed and saying, "Hey Ed, how's it going? How you working on your business?" And one a huge major mistake you don't want to make is you don't want to call up Ed and say, "Hey Ed, how's it going, man? How much did you sell last week?" Because right there you immediately completely wipe out everything that you built up, everything that you said. I mean, when you first started this thing, in the 45-second presentation, when you said there's no selling, and now you're calling up Ed and you're saying, "Hey, how much did you sell last week?" Gives the impression that all you care about is how much money they're making for you, which they're probably right. But when you call up Ed and you're going, "Hey Ed, hey, how you doing out there? Is there anything I can help you with? Who you talking to this week? What's going on? You get any new sponsors? That sort of thing." It's a whole different approach. You're not negating everything that you've built up about this business with no selling and sharing and all that, how easy it is and everything else, by asking the question, "How much did you sell last week?" So make sure that you avoid that pitfall. But getting back to a great way to approach Ed, rather than calling Ed directly first, what if you picked up the phone and you called maybe Sue, or maybe called Mary, or maybe even called Sue, and you say, "Hey Sue, it's Paul. How's it going out there? I was just calling to see if there was, how you doing with the business, and if there's anything I could help you with." Maybe Sue's got a couple of concerns. Maybe Sue has somebody that she wants to that she's talking to that wants to sponsor into the business, and you just call at the right time, and she's like, "Wow, that'd be great, Paul. Would you mind coming down and meeting with this person and this, that, and the other thing?" And maybe you set something up with Sue, and you kind of bypass Ed and Mary, and you go do some work with Sue. Most people would think, "Oh my God, no, you can't go around, you can't jump people, you can't do that." That's exactly what you can do in network marketing, and it works beautifully, because now I've called Sue and I said, "Hey Sue, how's it going?" And Sue and I set up something that Sue wants to talk to John, and she's like, "Oh, well, I was going to call Mary and we were going to have a deal, but if you want to do it, that'd be fantastic." So we set up, and I'm going to go sit down with Sue and talk with John, right? So now I call Mary and I say, "Hey Mary, guess what? I just got off the phone with Sue, and she's got John who's interested in business, and we're going to get together on Tuesday and sit down with John and introduce him to the business. Would you like to join us?" "Oh, that'd be fantastic." Yeah, so here you're helping Mary build her business. You're helping Mary build her business. Why would she have an issue with anything, right? It's fantastic. And Mary's all excited because she sees her upline coming around and building her business, helping her build her business, which that's what network marketing is all about. You being there for your people that you bring into the organization, which is why it's so important not to work with more than 5 people. Because, I mean, imagine if you had 20 people and they each had 3 people. How in the heck would you have time to go to all 20 people that were 3 levels deep, 6 levels? There's not enough time. I mean, if you're 3 levels deep with 3 people, and they've got 3, and they've got 3, and they've got 3, that's a lot of people right there in and of itself, and you're only working with 5. So that's the importance of keeping your core group, your 5 gold ships, limited. Once you get your 5, forget about going out there and bringing in more gold ships. Focus on your gold ships. And if you've only got 1 gold ship, make sure you focus on them. But if you got 1 gold ship, 3 silvers, and an empty, guess what you're going to do? You're going to focus on your gold ship, you're going to work with your silvers, and you're not going to bother much with your empty ship. They're going to figure it out, or they're going to sink. But they're not going to sink and drag you down with them. So then I turn around and I call up Ed. I say, "Hey, Ed, guess what? Yeah, I was talking with Sue this morning, and she's got a prospect coming in, and I'm going to go sit down with her on Tuesday. And I just got off the phone with Mary, and Mary says she'd love to join us. How about you? You want to make it a fivesome? And Ed's like, wow, you were working with Sue this morning, who's my Mary's downline. Wow, that's really awesome, Paul. How come you were out there doing that? Well, hey, I'm here to help you build your business, Ed. I've got my 5 gold ships. You've got only 3, but let's build this downline a little further. Let's make sure that everybody's getting their training. I'm here to make sure that everybody's getting their training and learning how to be able to teach and sponsor so that this thing will continue to perpetuate. I'm nothing against you. That's why I'm inviting you. I want you to come in. I want you to get more training and get your whole presentation or your whole presentation, down a little bit better, so that eventually you can do what I'm doing, and you can skip down through, past Sue and talk to her people, and you can go down and you can be the big trainer. So it's just all about reaching out and helping the people within your organization. And the more you help them build, the more you extend yourself to them, the easier it is for them to build their organization. So that's kind of the idea of the gold ship, silver ship, and who you're supposed to spend your time with. Now, how do you recognize, who are your gold ships, and and who should you be working with? You can identify your gold ships because they're the people that are eager to learn. All right, they're going to be calling you all the time, with a lot of questions that they want answered. Your empty ships, they're going to be sitting over there. They're not calling you. In fact, when you call them, they're going to be like, "Oh my God, he's calling me. What's he want?" The gold ships are excited. They ask for help. They have someone they want you to see or help them sponsor or train or something like that. They're going to ask you. That's the trait of a gold ship. They're excited about the business. They're learning about what the business is. They're using the product. They're building their education. They're spending their time, their spare time, like I said, learning about what the product and business is, so they can become more educated and knowledgeable and be able to pass that information on to the people that they sponsor into the business or the people that they're helping down below. They have goals. It's very important to have goals, because people who don't have goals are nowhere nearly as successful as people who have goals and who have them written down. That's very important. They have their list of names, your gold ships. Every time you run into your gold ship, you go, "Who are you talking to this week?" They pull out a piece of paper and say, "Well, I got this list right here. I'm working on these people right here." And they're continually adding to their list. They're fun to be with. This is one thing. They look forward to you coming over or calling. You make a call to one of your gold ships. They're excited. "Ooh, what's going on? What's Paul got for me?" Like I said, the empty ships, you make a call to an empty ship, and they're like, "Oh my God, why is he calling? He's harassing me again. I'm doing the best I can over here." You know what I mean? Big difference between the gold ships and the empty ships. You want to be able to identify your empty ships so that, like I said, you can try working with them a little bit. Maybe you can spark some energy. There's some empty ships. There's some people out there that'll come in as an empty ship, but you can really flip the light switch on for them, and they can quickly jump into the position of being a silver ship and being excited about things and start working with them. And if you get empty ships that do that, that's fantastic. But there's a lot of times when you'll see these empty ships will just be, there's nothing you can do. All you can do is just let them see what's going on, and hopefully the light will switch on for them at some point in time. And they're positive people. You always want to bring about positive thinking people. There's no sense in having negative people. 3 real important words: expose, involve, and upgrade. That's really what you're doing in your business. At this point in time, you're exposing people to the business, and once you expose them, you get them involved, and then once you get them involved, they're going to continually themselves see what's going on, see how everything's growing and building, and they're going to continually want to be upgrading themselves. And that's the great thing about the network marketing program is once you lit the fire, so to speak, they're going to be out there gathering their own wood and stoking that thing up and keeping it burning and making it bigger. So that's pretty much, well, 20 minutes, look at that. Yeah, that's pretty much napkin presentation number 6 in a nutshell. That's just kind of an overview of it. Obviously, you're going to be showing the photo of the empty ship, talking about the gold, silver, and the empty, about the 3 ships coming in, about the 3 ships coming to shore, and you'll be talking about the gold, the silver, and the empty, and why, and how, and who you want to focus on. And this napkin presentation is great to do if you've got some people in your organization. Hey, invite them over for a barbecue, sit them down, have 5 or 6, 7 people around, whatever it takes. Do this to the whole group. Get everybody kind of excited because you want to make sure that everybody is definitely focusing on the people within their organization that they want to, be spending their time with. So with that, John obviously didn't come back with any time here, so we'll do one more round of Chapter 6 on Monday before we transition over into Chapter 7, and because I know John has some presentation material that he wanted to put in on this Chapter 6 that I know he's worked hard for, so we're going to make sure we do that, and I didn't get to everything anyway. So with that, O Universe, I ask not for more riches, but for more wisdom, with which to make better use of the riches given to me at birth, consisting of the power to control and direct my own mind to whatever end I might desire.